Oh, absolutely. You know, I have the great advantage as a conductor of being a composer. For example, I just recorded the complete symphonies of Dvorak, just came out in a big box, 7 CD box, which is enormously successful. And I didn't know what to do. I struggled and I hesitated about the first symphony. Dvorak wrote the first symphony in a hurry when he was 21 for a competition in Austria to send it ahead. And he sent it, was never returned, he never saw the score again, and he thought it was lost. But the last movement is full of errors, which are obvious errors, because they are harmonies that don't belong in the 19th century at all. They are non-existent. They are clashing chords, and I'm sure he just didn't have a chance to revise it. Had he seen it later, he would have immediately fixed it. But every recording there is of that first symphony of Dvorak plays it as it's written, with errors. And I am convinced when the orchestras, in fact, I spoke to some of the musicians, recorded it, they told the conductors, Maestro, there is something wrong here. This is a clash, doesn't belong. This is it is not possible. But in each case, I was told the conductors, some very important, famous ones, said, I'm sorry, that's the way Dvorak wrote it. So I think, even though they were all great musicians, great conductors, they were not composers. Had they been also composers, they would have known that composers, just like writers, can make mistakes, which is why writers never, ever publish a book without the editors going through it and revising the syntax, commas, breaths, exclamation marks, dots, accents, if it's in a different language, and so forth. Same thing with composers. So I revised it, but I hesitated because I thought, how dare I change it when all the other performances, there are only about 5 or 6 recordings of the first symphony, none corrected it. One corrected it, one recording, by cutting those bars. The conductor didn't know what to do, so he cut 60 bars. Problem solved. Another recording, the way it was solved, the engineer lowered the volume of the clashing instruments. So if you raise the volume a little bit, you can hear something is wrong there. But if you play it at a normal volume, you might get away with it. So I didn't know what to do. I consulted with the Dvorak family, the descendants, the Dvorak library, musicologists, composers, friends. Eventually, with the help of an editor, I fixed it. But so being a composer helps me enormously to get into the music as if I had written it myself, which is what I do. I play the music as if it was my own. I get into it, I see how the composer put it together, and then I do it as the composer would have wished.